Welcome back, baby. It's a pregame show. We got our flags flying.
Flags are high.
Oh, yes, sir. If you guys are wondering, Julius is sound asleep. It's like 2 in the morning, 3 a.m. Germany time.
The only time you'll ever see him is Sunday pregame shows these days.
We'll get him. I think we'll get him. Thursday was tough.
Yeah.
Because he, worked Friday. But we have a Saturday game. We might be able to get him for that Saturday pregame show. That could work.
Mm-hmm.
So keep your hopes high. But we're here to talk some Lions versus Packers. It's going to be a good one. The point spread has moved from 1.5 to Lions underdogs. Yes, they were underdogs before they started the Falcons game. And then they were the favorites now. They are now 2-point favorites. It has moved from 1.5 to 2, -2 for the Lions. So, Nick, overall, how do you feel about this line? I feel like 2's pretty close. It wouldn't have shocked me if it was like a full 3 for that home spread, because it means since the Packers are home, they're giving the Packers a little less, I guess.
Yeah, and for Vegas, anytime a team is home, they get an automatic 3 points. That is exactly how it goes in Vegas, and then anything after that is on top of it. Every home team, they give a 3-point home field advantage, unless they're like the Bears. Obviously, I don't think they're looking at the Bears giving them any kind of points. But so what that tells me is that they're expecting the Lions really to win by 5, but they're going to set it at 2 and give that 3 points to Green Bay for home field advantage. And that's why we see this 2 line. I think they're kind of spot on, though. Like, I have it a little bit more. I have a 5-point win for the Lions, but a 21-20 game. Like, I'm a little scared to take that line, honestly. I took money line. I have not taken the spread.
Well, you know what's very interesting about it? The Packers' past 2 games, 1-point win, 1-point loss to the Saints and Falcons, who are both, not that good of teams. So it's like, wouldn't shock me if the Lions come down and just somehow a touchdown gives them a 1 point, 21-20 type of victory, which very, very well could happen. Some news that came in just now. Dave Montgomery and Taylor Decker will suit up. I know it was a little confusing this morning with Tom Peloso's tweet and our tweet even.
Pelissero.
I always say Peloso. I don't know.
You do.
I sometimes I'll see a last name and I just won't ever look at it ever again. And whatever it is in my brain is what it stays forever. So, yes, Tom Peloso. He phenomenal reporter, but he got he got it flipped. Mosley is out as we expected. Decker and Montgomery are playing. Good news. The bad news for the Packers, they don't have Jair Alexander, aren't going to be without Bakatari or Elton Jenkins, 2 starting linemen. But I will say, the Packers have been playing so much without Bakatari, it almost makes me feel like he's not even really a starter almost. Like, how much better would he make the team, if he doesn't play at all,
Yeah, especially game 1. It's kind of almost like, throw him out there to the Wolves in game 1,
But he was put on IR, so he is definitely banged up, so he had no chance of playing. But who is playing? Christian Watson. He will make his season debut after missing the first 3 weeks. A high-profile rookie last year, was doing some special things, getting it done, and he's now going to be limited in snaps. Also, Aaron Jones is going to be active today. He's missed his last 2 games. I don't think either will be a factor. The one thing I am curious about is who Cam Sutton will play. Do you think he's going to tail Christian Watson? Because obviously Watson has been the star in the wide receiver 1, but Dobbs has looked pretty good these last couple weeks. So do you think Sutton will stick on just the best player or the player that plays the most and is the best, I guess?
That's a good question. It's a good question. I would have just said Sutton on Watson all the time, but honestly, I'm not sure Watson gets more than 20 snaps in this game. If you have him in fantasy, I'm not revving him up. This is not a guy that I'm going towards, and I don't think Cam Sutton's going to gravitate towards him that's not what I'm going to say. I do think Cam Sutton will gravitate towards him when he's on the field. I just don't think, to answer your question, that he's going to be on the field enough to allow us to say Cam Sutton will follow him around all the time. I do think we'll have it where he's with Dobbs when Watson's not on the field. Again, we don't know the Packers play script, but if I had to guess, I don't think Watson plays a full load, which they said, right? They're going to limit his workload.
Yeah, he'll be limited. I think Aaron Jones should play majority of snaps, but he is limited.
He's ready to be the bell cow for him, but it's tough to be the bell cow against the Detroit Lions. We've talked about it countless times, and I couldn't wait to say it. I made it 5.5 minutes into our show to say it. Our run defense is superb. So Aaron Jones being the bell cow doesn't bother me any. In fact, AJ Dillon's at 30.5, I believe is what
rushing. I hammered the under, man. I just
the under on that.
He had 13 carries for 19 yards either last week or the week before, which is just like, he doesn't have explosiveness to get a 30-yard run like Aaron Jones. Yeah, he could get a rip off the yard run. AJ Dillon, no chance, unless we just have tons of injuries. Our offensive line, our defensive line just gets blown to pieces, but that's not the case. Hutch will feast today. We both got the Hutch jersey, repping, baby. Coming off a 2-sack performance, we're finally starting to see all these pressures turn into sacks, turn to forced fumbles, fumble recoveries. He is really starting to give me like TJ Watt vibes, where he just kind of does it all. Pass deflections. He's just very elusive. He knows how to contain the run now, which is huge. Makes our run D even better than what it is. And Hutch, I think he gets another sack. I'm going to go over. Okay, over under. Do you think he gets a sack? Because he said it plus like 100, 105 on FanDuel to get a sack.
And the fandom in me is like screaming, of course he gets a sack. Why would he not get a sack? We will feast. No Bakatari, no Elton Jenkins. We should have him lined up. What I want to see is how many times has he been sacked so far this year? Do we know that answer?
Not a lot, which is interesting. Love has been sacked once in each of his first 3 games, right. I believe.
Exactly. So, well, the odds that he gets sacked once seem to be pretty high. No James Houston. Hutch could probably be the one to go home. I would say I'll take the bet. Yes, Hutchinson does get a sack today.
I like it. I think he does too. I actually think he gets 2. Hutch, I feel like he's just got mojo right now. You saw that stanky leg. He is just feeling himself. He knows he is the best offensive defensive lineman every time he gets on the field. Most times, I should say. But he is a monster. He is slowly turning into a TJ Watt. He's not quite at that like bulk Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons level where they're just absolute animals, where they could just Demarcus Ware, another guy. But
we're saying Hutch isn't with Micah Parsons? I don't think the stats this year would say. I think the stats would say Hutch is better than Parsons this year.
I think just because Parsons is a year older, they're on the same trajectory. If you look at Parsons year 2 as opposed to Hutch right now, probably the exact same. But since Parsons has that extra year, I just feel like he's a little bit better. But
I just don't know if I can. I could be wrong on this, but
yeah.
Where is Hutch and Parsons at in QB hurries, QB pressures, and QB hits? We don't have that stats right in front of us, but I would like to bet that Hutch leads.
Him, Garrett, and Watt, I think, are first for quarterback, either hurries or pressures.
Now, I'm guessing Hutch leads in all 3 of them over Parsons. The only thing Parsons has on Hutch is sacks, which is like interceptions. Yeah. Who cares? You want the pass deflections. You want the QB rating against you. You want there's better and deeper stats to look at. Like instead of looking at baseball and being like, oh, this guy has 40 home runs, he must be great. It's like, no, there's other different things. So I don't know. Call me fan bias, but I would say Hutch is better than Parsons. Parsons just gets the media because he's on Dallas.
I love it. I'm going to agree. Hutch is better than Parsons. He's going to be the best defender in the league. He is 6th right now in Defensive Player of the Year odds. He put himself on not just like the fan map, but the media map. I think all the voters, everyone was like, ooh, this Hutch guy probably should have won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year. He got snubbed, and he's still living up to hype. Now, Sauce Gardner has had a couple good games, but he's had that week 1 was bad. Nonetheless, Hutch, he's slowly climbed the rankings, and I do think another primetime game, Lions on Amazon Prime. I believe it's our first Amazon Prime game, too, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully Jeff Bezos doesn't pull any strings, do anything crazy.
It is also showing on Fox. So if you don't want to watch Amazon Prime, it's nationally broadcast or locally broadcast on Fox for all, like most people in Michigan.
Oh, that's huge. Dang. I did not know that. Huh.
Also,
everyone. They had to get Prime.
You got to get Prime. Yeah, no, I saw that yesterday. But you were talking about how Hutch got snubbed from Defensive Rookie of the Year. You know who else got snubbed from Defensive Player of the Month was this man down here, apparently Christian Gonzalez and his pass deflections, I don't know how the hell he won this, earned better than Branch.
I know.
Which, honestly, it probably should be, what's the Rams receiver? Puka Nuwaka? What's his name?
But I think, yeah, Nacua.
Nacua, that's it. Thank you. He probably should have won. Maybe that was defensive player, rookie of the year. Actually, now that I think about that, still should have been Branch.
I think he'll get this month. He has looked so freaking good. Pick 45 could honestly be the steal of the draft on any team. This dude has looked so good. He's giving me I forget who said that nice everyone, but someone mentioned it. Troy Polamalu. Like, I want to see him start to blitz now. Just come over the top, like just send him up the middle. This dude is a missile, and he can get it done if you just, go for it. He could do it all. And sorry, I'm reading my friend Barge's comment. Yes, that could be a problem. Jacobs on Watson. Hopefully, we know this by now that Jacobs can't handle a guy himself, which it's okay. It's fine. If we know that, it's a lot better. We're gonna have Mosley back soon. Jacobs, he's not a true 2. He's like a solid 3, honestly. And no knock to him. He could get it done, but we saw what happens when he can't, and we just can't bank on that anymore. So yeah, hopefully we're smart enough with that. We have extra help, even with the linebackers too, just making sure we don't have blown tight ends, going down the sidelines, or Christian Watson, 40-yard touchdowns.
Thing is that Watson isn't a full man right now. He's half a man. He's got one leg he's running on out there and barely going to play. In fact, thinking it back over in our earlier segment, maybe it's good if we just let Sutton follow Dubs around the entire time and let Jacobs play Watson and see what happens. Like, it's a half a man right now. Jacobs can cover half a man. Like, and yeah, he got burned in Seattle, but he came back strong against Atlanta, and we've seen him play very well. And your cornerback 3s and cornerback 4s by week 17 and 18 are your cornerback 1s and 2s normally. So it's as much as we're gonna need Jacobs down the stretch. We need him to be better. We need to put him on players that will allow him to learn his craft even more. And Watson, I don't know. I don't think it's the worst thing right now. I think full health Watson, it would be scary, but he's not full health. So that's just me.
I agree. And honestly, I think we're coming into it a little bit more healthy than the Packers are. We do have Big V outs. That will be a problem. We kind of were fine last week. But Matt Nelson, Dan Skipper, I'm not sure if Nelson is healthy. He was banged up too last week, and Skipper was coming in, but Skip did good, and then he got banged up. So I believe Colby Sorsdale, I got his first, not start, but appearance, I guess, in an NFL regular season game. So good for him. At least he's a little bit more experienced. He held his own. Nick, talking rookies, actually not rookies, I guess, but Benito Jones. Did you see that picture yet?
Woo. I don't think I did. I don't know what you're talking about.
Or maybe it was Broderick Martin. I get him confused all the time.
No, I still didn't. Not even Broderick Martin rings a bell to what picture are you
rocking? The only overalls with just under, nothing underneath.
Oh, I'm finding this right now. You're saying Broderick Martin to the Green Bay game today?
Yeah, hold on. My buddy sent it to me. Oh, this is great podcast. Benito Jones. I'm sorry. I get them both mixed up. It was Benito Jones. The whole rookie thing got me mixed up. Yes, he came in rocking just brown overalls and brown boots with a cowboy hat on. I posted on our Twitter if you guys want to check it out. Or you want to check out Nick. I just said Vince Wilfork vibes because it's Vince Wilfork's look. That's what he would show up as. And boy, oh boy, if we could have Broderick Martin turn to Vince Wilfork.
Benito Jones. Yes, or Broderick Martin. If both of them want to turn to Vince Wilfork, that'd be great with me. Shoot. I see this picture and it is awesome, and it is extreme Vince Wilfork vibes, and I love it.
He's a dog too. I think he's slowly getting more play time. Bugs got activated, got his first appearance last week, which is good. I was hoping he would get some time soon. Should be playing today too, so we'll see. But Nick, let's hit the keys of victory. So what are the keys to getting this job done? How do we get a 22-17 win?
Well, I like to have 3 keys to victory for every game, and 2 of these are defense. offense is going to be super nerve-wracking. On the road, it's what we do. We won't score more than 24 points. Anyone who's trying to take Lions over 24 points, you're kind of crazy in my opinion. I just can't see us doing that on the road. So we're gonna do what the Lions do on the road, which is score between 20 and 24 points. Right? That's just what we do. The defense has to be stout. That's what we were in Atlanta, and we allowed 6 points. That's what we were not against Seattle, and we allowed 34 points. That's what we were against Kansas City, and we allowed 20 points. Jordan Love uses his legs and throws the deep ball. He's only completing 56% of his passes, but he's got the most air yards per attempt in the NFL. 10 yards per attempt, it looks like. The dude throws it deep. This referee group that we have throws the most, I believe it's the most defensive pass interference flags. So we are going to see a lot of laundry on the field from our and thrown towards our secondary, and we have to just understand that. We have to accept it. It is what it is, but that can't stop us. We need to, if that happens, that's a bend we cannot break. So defensively, all this is circling to. Defensively, I want to see our secondary be as locked down as they were against the Falcons. That's huge. That's huge. And then number two, I'm not even going to bring up stopping the run because I know we're going to do that. We need to stop Jordan Love from running. We need to stop Jordan Love from getting first downs. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's not Matthew Stafford or Jared Goff either. Like, the dude will run for yards. He's averaging, I believe, 25 yards a game, which is here and there is like 4 to 5 different first downs. And we can't have that. So those are my two big defensive stops. Stop the quarterback from running and stop and secondary play the best you can be. For offense, it's kind of simple. Jared Goff, get back to this no interception streak. You now are on a 2-game interception streak. That is not the streak we want. We liked it when we were chasing Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady for most throws consecutively without interception. Let's get that streak back. No more interceptions. Keep the ball. No more turnovers. Nothing like that. Nothing. I should be adding Dan Campbell on this, but I'm just going to say, Jared Goff, get back to interceptions. Do not allow Love to beat you with his legs, and secondary needs to be elite. Those are my 3 keys to victory.
I like it. Yeah, I'm pretty with you on all those. A couple of my keys, but steal for some callers from 971 on my way over to my buddy's house. They said turnovers. If the Lions don't turn the ball over, we're going to win this game. We have the Seattle game, pick 6. Dave Montgomery fumbles opening, touch of the second half, then gives Seattle 7 points right off the bat. You take away those 14 points, and we walk away easily victors. So it's tough. If we don't turn the ball over, it's pretty much good as gold that will win. And then next, Dan Campbell, take the points when you can. Valenti, honestly, he's been saying a lot of good stuff about the Lions, and I've been liking it lately. And what he said was, Dan Campbell, the first drive, just take the points. Don't try to do something hoo-ha at first. Let that be, in the third quarter, late in the second quarter, early in the fourth quarter, when they aren't expecting it. Everyone, now he's done it so much, now everyone expects it. All right, 4th and 3, don't bite, watch the fake. And now that we're kind of on notice, we've done it a few times, just gone for it, done fakes, whatever. It makes it a little bit tougher. But my final thing is Jahmyr Gibbs will be unleashed tonight. I do believe the Lions are just going to put him everywhere. I don't know why. I just got a gut feeling that Ben Johnson knows this game is important. We've slowly worked this guy in. We have Montgomery now as our bell cow back, and we can put Gibbs outside, let him do, wheel routes, different things like we've been talking about the preseason and before the season even started. So I'm hoping I don't freaking just jinx him into getting 8 touches, and 2 targets or whatever. But ultimately, I do think if Jahmyr Gibbs gets 25, targets, touches, snaps, not snaps, but looks, then I think the Lions will have another hand up because this dude's special and we draft him to be that. We saw what we did against Bijan. Now, granted, if you put Jahmyr Gibbs on the other side, you can't tell me he wouldn't go at least 10 for 40, which is what better than Bijan would have done. what he
It
did.
do?
What it do?
What it do, though?
And so, but yeah, shout out to you, Nick, for nearly calling that Bijan perfectly. But Gibbs, I think he goes off. So Gibbs, Dan Campbell, be smart, take the points, and no turnovers, and that's how we'll win this game.
I love it. Dan Campbell, after the Atlanta Falcons game, do you remember, you know what he said? Said, I says the only thing I think I could have done better is, or the only thing I regret doing was I was a little too conservative. He ain't gonna be. Dan Campbell came out and said, "Boy, we going for it on every fourth down and every punt. We playing Madden out here. We're trying to be like the Dolphins because unfortunately, that's just how you got to win games." No, I mean it's not. Obviously, we should be taking the points. We should be punting. We have the best punter in the game. I don't know how Dan Campbell doesn't utilize him more, but he did against Atlanta. I think the Green Bay Packers fall in. I think we talked about this, or maybe it was me and a couple other buddies, but they fall into the group of the Kansas City Chiefs. I know the Packers aren't as good as the Chiefs, but they fall in that group. And almost the Seahawks too, where they're playoff contenders, and Dan Campbell plays very conservative against non-playoff contenders and goes very aggressively against playoff contenders. I don't know why that's the case, but that is the case. Because of that, I fully expect every fourth down we are going for it. Whether it is lined up in a go for it formation or a punt or a field goal formation, we will be going for it. You just got to get ready for it. You know, like I kind of don't, no matter what happens, no matter what Dan Campbell calls, I don't want to come back on this show early next week to recap this game and be like, Dan should have did this. Dan should have that. Dan's going to do Dan. And we just got to live with that. Like, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no telling him not to. And as much as whoever wants to yell about it, he's not going to listen. And we yelled about it all year last year. And we yelled about it all year the year before that. And we were starting to yell about it this year. And I'm just done. I don't need any more gray hair, man. Dan Campbell's just going to be Dan Campbell. We'll take it. But what you said about the turnovers, that also includes turnover on downs, because those are turnovers. So if you want to avoid turnovers, going for it on fourth down is not going to give you the best odds to that. You should just be punting it. So, but it's crazy. It is what it is. What's crazy is that we get to watch it in less than an hour, 50 minutes. We're watching the Lions versus the fucking Packers. Let's fucking go.
Oof, another primetime game. I love it. It's another, the Lions have been doing good on primetime. Another good example where the Lions will get to show the world that we're legit. We're a good team. Mm-hmm. And we can hang with the big boys. But a couple inactive for the Lions. It came out about 40 minutes ago. No Kirby Joseph. So that sucks. He kind of owns Lambeau. Well, he did his rookie year. Had that nice interception, nearly 3 off Aaron Rodgers. But a couple other notable guys. No Jason Kabinda. We did bring up Darrell Daniels, I believe, tight end from the XFL, the USFL, one of those side leagues. We brought him up, and he was on a practice squad. And it's looking like he's going to be our fullback-ish. And I even saw, I think it was Jeremy Reisman, maybe it was another Lions beat reporter, but nonetheless, they said that don't be surprised if Darrell Daniels is here to stay. This dude is a good fullback. Even though he started out as tight end, he knows how to block. So I'm excited to see him play as well. Also, Zonovan Knight not playing. I think that's due to Montgomery. I think this tells me that Montgomery is 100%. He's not just 60%. We're putting him out there. I think he's fully good to go. We got Gibbs and then Reynolds. And then the other one that kind of caught me off guard, Broderick Martin. Not Benito Jones, Broderick Martin.
I can't even trust you anymore.
Yeah, I know, honestly. I'm reading it. Broderick Martin. Okay. Got those names mixed up. But Broderick Martin, he is not playing either. And then finally, Emmanuel Mosley and Big V are both out.
I should know this, but has Broderick Martin played in a single game this year?
I swear, I'm pretty sure he's got sack. I swear I saw him.
Okay, cool. I must have missed that because I was like, yo, we traded up for this guy. Why is he not playing?
I think him and Bugs are rotating between who's the healthy scratch and who's not.
That's cool. I don't question it. I don't question anything DC does or Brad Holmes does, but I was curious. I'm trying to look it up right now to confirm that, but I can't find it.
Out of any of those guys, are there any that's I guess Kirby Joseph, but anyone else that think could have made a little bit more of an impact, maybe Manuel Mosley, but his first game back, I'm not expecting a lot.
I do not think Broderick Martin has played yet this year, just so you know.
Really? Okay, then.
Yeah, he has no stats
And
under
Benito Jones has a sack for sure.
Benito definitely has a sack, yes.
That's definitely what I got mixed up with.
That's kind of crazy. So, no. To answer that question, no. Kirby, but again, other than that, none of these guys.
But Tracy, I think this is part of Tracy playing so well that we're like, all right, we can trust this dude again. Hell yeah.
Kirby, we could always trust Tracy. Tracy was our captain. He's
coming off an Achilles, so I think that was why. We knew mentally we could trust him, but physically we were like, let's just see it real quick.
Oh, and he lays the hit stick down a couple of times, and we're like, oh yeah, we don't right. Shout out Tracy Walker.
Yeah. And then you know who else laid the hit stick? Iffy. He played very well at safety,
which is another reason why Kirby not being there is like, well, okay, we got Iffy.
And then, Christian Watson, like you said, he's half a man down with freaking legs. So he's not going to be able to fly deep every single play. So I do think a lot of at least Kirby Joseph's inactive, it was due to game script. Yes.
Yeah. This game's going to be crazy. This is why I don't like any of the receivers and I don't really like any of the passing bets. I think this game's going to be a really interesting, quick game. Quick game, as in the Lions are going to run 8 to 10 minutes off the clock every drive we have type of situation. And obviously not every drive, but we're going to have long drives and it's going to make this game go really fast. And people who are looking for the over, you're going to be looking at like a 9-0, 9-3 halftime. And then you're going to be looking at 14-10. And then, we'll get to the finals later, but it's not going to be that high scoring. And then I was talking to a buddy at work who was like, 38-31. And I was like, if you think the Lions are going to score 38 on the road, you've never watched a Lions game on the road, with Jared Goff, at least. It's just not going to happen. This is going to be a divisional freaking blue collar grit game. Just like Atlanta really was. It's just going to be very similar to that, in my opinion. So,
and then the other thing that it's weird to say, but I think we have the advantage coaching. I know Matt LaFleur is a great head coach. I'm like, oh, he's genius, he's so good. But Dan Campbell's whooped his ass 4 straight times now. And now, granted, this has been with Rodgers banged up, not 100% old, not old. But there was a couple times where the Lions were beat up just as much. And we went toe-to-toe, and Dan Campbell just straight up beat him. And there was a few plays where we went for it on 4th down, just caught the Packers off guard, and we beat them. So I think
we ain't going to be able to catch them off guard this time.
I agree. And now another big thing that happened. Do you think we see any type of silly penalties? Because last year, Quay Walker, I forget exactly what he did, but he got himself ejected. He slapped someone or did something stupid. And he got himself ejected, and it led to a Lions field goal.
I think he pushed the ref. Also in that game, wasn't that the same game where some dude from the Packers?
He slapped the football.
Yeah, walked it through the line before and slapped the football or something. It was the weirdest thing. Do I think we're going to see weird penalties? Yes, I always put push the trainer. That's right. That was what it was. Yeah.
Get off of me.
Yeah. A good flap by the trainer too. Good flap by the trainer, man. We needed that. That was solid. Solid teamwork right there. What's the Lions versus Packers? We're gonna get a phantom call. There will be a phantom random call that's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna be like, what the hell? Hopefully it goes our way. Hopefully we take a good one. The referees want to help the teams that bring in the most ratings, right? And I think the Lions bring in a little bit more ratings than the Packers do for the first time in long time. So maybe we catch the break once or twice this time.
Yeah, I saw a thing. It was like the Lions are favored in Lambeau for the first time since 1950. Something.
That's another not as impressive as a stat as that. But if we win this game, this will be the first time we're in sole possession of the division. Yeah. First time we'll be in sole possession of the division since October 1st, 2016, I think it was 7 years ago. So, woo! I want this win. That's for sure.
Yes. Yeah, I do too. Well, Nick, any other, final comments on this game or anything you want to touch on?
There's a lot of stuff. Sam Laporta should have a big day. Monty should have a big day.
What
Running the
tight
ball
ends?
should have a big day.
Because tight ends, because they got Luke Musgrave, who's actually been playing decently. He's racked up the yards, had like I think 50-ish each game the last 3 weeks. And as you guys know, the Lions linebackers can't really cover. Now we kind of shut down Kyle Pitts, and he's no flag freak. But granted, the Falcons just
Desmond Ridder overthrew him on a couple passes.
Yeah, he did, yes. So it wouldn't shock me if we see Luke Musgrave have, a 60-yard touchdown type game. Now I'm gonna flip it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
How much more yards do you think Laporta has than Musgrave, or do you think it's tighter than we expect?
Ooh, well, first off, Luke Musgrave isn't dating A-list actress Margot Robbie like our boy Sam Laporta, which is obviously a joke, but put on Twitter, and it's pretty funny. If you don't know what we're talking about, find our Twitter page at Honolulu Blues _. Also, and then follow us. Okay, so to answer your question, I actually would take Musgrave over Laporta in yards today. I don't think Goff throws it a lot. I think Laporta has his. I can't even give an over/under on that 44.5 yards. I think they have Laporta set at. I couldn't even touch that because I think that's kind of spot on. Musgrave is that 38, I think, and that I would take the north of. I bet Musgrave finished this day with like 60 yards, 7 catches, 60 yards, because they're going to realize that Watson's not catching anything, and Dobbs is going to be, guarded by Sutton. So now they're going to Jaden Reed versus Jerry Jacobs, which is kind of a 50-50 in my opinion. I'll give the edge to Jacobs because he's got more experience. CJ GJ will be all over everywhere. Garden as well. Aaron Jones.
Whoa, simmer down. CJ GJ.
I'm sorry. Why did I say that? I meant Brian Branch. I don't know why I guess wishful thinking. Maybe I was just trying to put it in the air. I don't know why I said that. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. I heard me say it too and didn't think anything of it until you said it. And I was like, I did just say CJ GJ. Brian Branch will be everywhere and he'll be great. Our safeties will be like, I'll take Musgrave for more yards than Sam Laporta. Even though I'm a Laporta sporta, I'll take Musgrave.
Yeah, he has been phenomenal. I do think they're going to be a little bit closer. I think both will be right around 50 yards.
I agreed with that.
I think, I think one for sure will get a touchdown. I will lock that in. Do you agree with me on that? Did either Laporta or Musgrave will somehow find the end zone?
I'm not going to agree with you on that either.
No.
Sorry. I don't see either of them finding the end zone today.
Really? All right. We did see, I believe Blake Bell scored week 1. No one scored for the Falcons. And then don't think.
No one scored a touchdown for the Falcons. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well,
Seattle. No, it was all Lock. Oh, no.
Yeah, it was Lockett and Kenneth Walker.
Okay, yeah. Who was they did have a tight end who had a big play down the field though.
But Fant did catch a nice little, I don't know if it was a wheel route or something, but he was on Houston and we had Houston playing drop coverage for some reason.
Yeah, so it seems like we're going no more touchdowns. We let up a touchdown to Blake Bell in the first game, and you knew Pat Mahomes was going to hit the tight end. I'm going to go no touchdowns from Luke Musgrave, but I'm going to flip it to you. Who is your week 4? Oh, no. Water.
It blocks out. I can't do it with
Can you see it if I hold it back here?
Oh, I see. Okay, I see.
It says Team MVP because I won Team MVP for my softball league. Hello. Ooh. I just wanted to boast about that for a second, but also transition it into a question. Who is the team MVP for the Lions after this victorious Thursday?
So like overall,
yep, one person.
I think it's still going to be Goff. I think if you just take out his interceptions, he has played like perfect.
No, not the season, just today, just today.
Okay, that was okay. So then for the MVP for today, I think it's going to be Montgomery. I think we're going to do a similar style of what we did last year with Jamal Williams. We just fed him. He had like 16, 17, maybe 18 carries, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns. And I think that's going to be David Montgomery. He's going to have 16 carries, 72 yards, 1 touchdown, maybe 2. And I do think Gibbs will get a little bit of that action. I think my bold prediction, I'm going to say Gibbs is going to have 5+ receptions. Now that I'm saying this, I should go bet it, and it's going to hit, and I'm not going to bet it, and I'm going to be mad at myself, but oh well.
All right, so you're going with David Montgomery. Okay. So no Kirby. Does that mean that if he is starting then?
No, I think it'll be Tracy and Brant. Well,
No, Branch will be a nickel.
I think Iffy will start.
It will be Iffy. And he is going to be my shocking MVP today. Yes.
If he's our MVP.
He is going to fall into the Kirby Joseph role. And I just said that Jordan Love throws 10.4 yards per pass. And that is not on every pass, meaning many of his passes go farther than that. And he lob cities them up looking for flags. I bet Iffy comes away with a crazy amount of 2 interceptions today. Mark my words.
That is spicy. I love it.
It's spicy.
But realistically, he was a guy that he showed flashes early on. And then we drafted Kirby. And then Kirby just took over. Kirby literally became who we wanted Iffy to be. Mm-hmm. And I think he's seen that. Hopefully he's learned through it and not been more of like a, spiteful type player and just like accepted this backup role and tried to, duplicate Kirby, because if he could just come out and play like that, yes, he has an excellent chance to be our MVP. Like you said, Love is throwing it around 50%, 60% for his passes. He just can't complete every one. He likes to throw the deep ball. He's always airing it out. I do think Jaden Reed, speedster from MSU, I think he's going to take some shots at him.
I took his under, so hopefully he doesn't catch any of them. Shit. I heard Watson was playing, and I was like, oh, Jaden Reed ain't going to get over 35 yards. And then I was like, oh, Watson's
he's either going to get like 70 and a touchdown, or he's literally going to get like 4. Because he's going to get like a screen and just like a wide receiver screen, just get sacked right or tackled right at the line of scrimmage.
That's so funny. Isn't it crazy that Monty has never beat Green Bay before in his career?
I know. And that was another reason, when he came in and he said, like, I want to play. I think he was like, after last week's game was like, no, I'm playing. Coach, I'm playing. And
same thing like Decker
was just geeked for it. Monty has done pretty well against Green Bay in his past. Don't have the exact numbers, but he's had multiple 100-yard games, multiple 2 touchdown games, and he knows how to get the job done. So with an offensive line like the Lions, this dude's gonna be special tonight.
Yeah, he is. Are we wrapping that up? Are we getting to our dun score predictions? We need a drop for that.
I know. Yeah. What do you think?
Hold on. Before we get any farther, David Montgomery against the Packers, real quick. Oh shit! Nope, I lost it. Never mind. Go ahead. I lost it.
All right. What do you think Julius would predict his Lions score?
He posted it somewhere.
Somewhere.
But the hell if I remember. I don't know. If I was Julius. Well, hold on.
That's right.
I got a score prediction right here from Julius from May. Oh, not that one. Hold on.
46-4.
That's what I was gonna actually say. But all right. Do you want to know everyone's May prediction?
Sure, yeah. I'm curious to see what I said. I know you said it was loss.
Fuck, how'd you know I said it was
I remember that. You said you're like, this one's gonna house, and you kind of got me worried back then. I was like, oh no, he's right. It is 6. It is kind of worrisome. Also, another thing that no one's even mentioned, and I'm almost positive this is the case. This is Jordan Love's first primetime game, right?
Right.
Yeah, he's never played primetime yet. And I don't know how no one's mentioned this or what, but there's certain quarterbacks out there that can't play well in primetime. We've seen it. Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones, bad ones like Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, bums like that.
Neither of them can play football, regardless of what time it is.
But yeah, it's a thing. I want to throw Derek Carr in there. It's just like that big game moment when everyone's watching, not just like your hometown. There's a little more to that. Yeah. And if we can beat Aaron Rodgers in that like moment of where like that was like perfectly movie scripted for Aaron Rodgers to win, and the Lions just like pissed on their movie script, and it was perfect. And no one in Green Bay expected it, and now with Love, we don't know. He might not be that calm, cool, like I can get it done. So
yeah. Okay, let's get to these scores. Back in May, Julius predicted the Lions to win 27-10. Adam predicted the Lions to be 4-0 after this victory with a 19-16 win. And I took Green Bay to win 17-16. But that was May, and we ain't in May no more. And I will come out. I'll start this whole fucking shindig off with our victory, because this ain't a prediction. I've been guaranteeing things left and right week after week, and I'm doing it again today. in an odd 22 points for the Lions. I'm going to say that's due to a missed extra point from Badgley. Would be 23-17, but in fact it'll be 22-17.
I thought you were going to say failed 2-point conversion.
No. I think it'll be extra point missed early in the game, and we'll all be very nervous about it pretty much the whole game. And at one point it'll be, I don't know, somehow it's going to get to 22 and it's going to be crazy. And we're going to trust him. He'll get field goals. Dan Campbell will get field goals with us. 22-17, the Detroit Lions.
And it'll be Patterson missing the extra point, not Badgley. But
shoot, I don't know why. I miss Money Badger. I really do. I miss the guy. But Patterson's awesome.
He missed one in the preseason, so
I don't want to put no
60-7
Lions.
I do think it'll be low scoring. I think the Lions are going to come in and get that 24. I do think, well, no, I just think we're getting 24 somehow. I don't think we're going for 2 or something like crazy like that. But yes, 24-14. I think the Packers will have 2 touchdowns, be trailed the majority of the game. I think there will come a point where it's 14-17 and the Packers might have a little hope, and then the Lions will just squander it right away, and it'll be 24-14 for the final 9 minutes of fourth quarter. So 24-14, Montgomery MVP.
I love it. 22-17, Ife Melifonwu MVP.
All right, ladies and gents, that was our first pregame show. So hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully we're going to be able to do some more.
I pregamed a show last Sunday, bro. You weren't there. And it was not good.
I said our.
Oh, okay. Okay. Touche.
You guys know what I mean. But no, this might be, hopefully we keep this going. Hopefully we should be able to get 2 of us on. It's a little tough with Julius being in Germany, but he'll figure it out one of these days. As always, you can check us out at Honolulu Blues _. We got a nice little pin tweet going with the Lions. Open up the game with a touchdown, defensive touchdown. We're going to give away a Lions jersey or some cash, baby.
I like jerseys and cash. What a great
any jersey you want, or $100. So whatever you want. Lions, Brian Branch, pick 6. It could happen, man. It could happen. So you never know. Or Aiden Hutchinson, scoop score. We got playmakers that can do it. So check us out there.
Pick 6. Iffy pick 6 to start the game. I'll be rolling.
I will run. I'll do a victory lap with this little flag. I will send you a victory. I will go crazy in Royal Oak. I will scream so loud that you can hear me next. We're probably
you're in my city and you're not even here at my house doing this show with me. Oh my, you would just rock at the end. Oh my gosh, dude. He tried to hold it in the whole show and then he drops it at the end. Oh, you son of a gun.
Honestly, though, I don't know why I didn't.
It's all right. I still love you. You don't have to make excuses. I still love you.
I'll make it up to you.
Remember that next time I'm in
I feel double ashamed, too, because you know what happened last time I was with you on the Lions Thursday night game.
I do remember. I'll always remember for the rest of my life that game.
Well, if we don't win, I'll see you every Thursday Lions game. See you Thanksgiving.
Yeah, all right. You're welcome, bro. You're welcome. Come on down.
But if you want to check us out individually, check me out at Everyday FFB. I'll help you out with some fantasy advice. Or Nick. He's a fantasy man too himself. At Nick Faber NFL for Nick. But as always, go Lions.